As we come to a close on the 4th book of the Torah, we conclude Sefer Bamidbar. We talk about the division of the land of Eretz Yisrael. After 40 years, the Yidden are standing waiting to enter the land. Moshe Rabbeinu is about to pass away. He establishes proper guidelines for which tribe gets which plot of land. However, if you look closely in the Psukim, you find a very interesting contradiction. Last week's parsha and the beginning of this week's parsha spoke about the concept of lirav tar benachalasai ulemait tamit. If you have a lot of people, you're going to get a bigger land. Some in quantity, some in quality, but we see from here that the division of land is done off a logical calculation. However, just before that, in the very same pasuk, we find the words v'hisnachaltem es haaretz begoyrel. You should divide the land through a lottery. That doesn't sound like a logical calculation based on the population of each shevet. What's even more interesting is that the Gemara tells us that the way the land was actually divided is that Elazar HaKohen, Elazar the Kohen Gadol, would use the Urim v'Tumim, part of the breastplate, in which Hashem would use to communicate with him, to prophetically state that if this shevet gets this piece, then that shevet will get that piece. After he said that, he would draw the lottery, and what do you know, it would come out to be the exact same scenario as he said before. So honestly, why are we playing game? If the whole thing's a prophecy altogether, forget about the logic, forget about the lottery. Elazar HaKohen literally prophesies the outcome before the lottery, so why do it at all? Even more interesting is that the Chachamim tell us that anyone who goes against the lottery of the division of the land, it's as equal to him as defying and disobeying the Aseret HaDibros. But how can you say something that seemingly isn't so important has the same severity and the same effect as if you were defying the 10 Commandments? It's as if you were defying the Torah. So explains the Rebbe, in order to understand this, we have to understand the Torah. Because when it comes to Torah, there are 3 parts. There is Torah as we know it as a Yerusha. Torah is an inheritance, and therefore every Jew, no matter what, has an unbound connection to it. Then there is a part of Torah that is like a purchase, where we have to do something, we have to pay to get it. That refers to the part of Torah which we need to try hard to understand, the Torah in which we have acquired through our thinking. And then there is a part of Torah that is like a matana, a gift, where in a way we did do something to receive the gift, but the reward, the present, is incomparable to anything that we did to receive it. And that refers to the unbound, unlimited levels of light that come to our body through learning Torah. And if Hashem gives us the gift, we will be able to understand it, to feel it, and to interact with it. And explains the Rebbe, the same idea applies to Eretz Yisrael. The fact that a physical piece of land could have Hashem's eyes on it 24/7, constantly protecting it. The holiness in Eretz Yisrael is something incomparable to the rest of the world. But nevertheless, it was still a physical plot of land. And therefore both aspects were needed. Just like by Torah, we have our inherent connection with the Torah, followed by us trying to understand it. And only after those 2 steps could we get the gift aspect, the high levels. So too by Eretz Yisrael. We all have an inherent connection as an inheritance from Avram Avinu to Eretz Yisrael. Then comes the logic aspect, where the division is based on the shevet, the tribe's population. And after that, you have to have the gift aspect, which is the lottery. And even though the lottery will be identical to the physical logical calculation that you just made, that is of no difference, because it's not about the result of the lottery, it's about the lottery, the gairul itself. The fact that we are allowing the unbound energy to come into Eretz Yisrael through the gairul. And now we can understand, anyone who defies the boundaries that were set, it's as if he was going against the Torah. It's as if he's turning away God's gift. Because the calculation wasn't just a logical calculation, it was a prophecy. And by denying it, you are effectively saying that you don't want unbound holiness in this world. And that is something that defies the entire Torah. But when we tap into this energy, when we realize that every time we learn Torah, we bring down unlimited levels of light. And even though we can't see it, all we have to do is know that it's happening. Because in every action that we do, we refine the world further and further until the world is fully refined and Mashiach is able to come. And once that happens, we will be able to retroactively see all the amazing work we did in the course of our life. May the coming of Mashiach happen speedily in our days. Wishing you a good Shabbos.